Wyndham, how'd you kind of characterize the round?
That was great. I hit a lot of great shots. Finally made a nice putt on 14, and but yeah, it was really a solid round. It was fantastic. Could have been even lower.
How did the scoring conditions sort of change as you went through your round from this morning early when it looked pretty benign to the wind seems to be picking up now?
Yeah,
at this point?
I guess it just makes it a little tough as you get on the backside. The wind seems to swirl just because you can't feel it, so it makes it a little tougher. But all in all, I guess it's sometimes when you're playing nicely, it didn't seem too difficult out there, but then again, guys are maybe not taking it as low as I would have thought. So it's the course I thought was out there to get it, and maybe it was nicer to go off this morning than this afternoon.
Gotcha. There were some posts and some photographs that came out of Oakmont that made it their way on through social media. Is there anything you'd like to comment on or make any statements on with regard to some of that stuff in the locker room?
Yeah, I've had a lot of highs and lows in my career, especially this year, some lows. And, I made a mistake that I deeply regret, and I'm very sorry for what happened. But I'd also like to move on, not only for myself, but for Oakmont, for the USGA, and kind of focus on the rest of this year and things that come up. I still want to try to make the Ryder Cup team. I'm on the outside looking in for the FedEx Cup, and so I'm starting to move on and focus on those things.
What did you feel like you did really well today that maybe you hadn't been recently?
I made some of the short putts that keep the round going. I had a couple of par saves, even though it seems really small, like 4 or 5 footers that really keep the round going. And then same thing with birdies. I hit a lot of good shots in there to kind of 6, 8 feet, and I made those, which really for me mentally just keeps it going. And then I was kind of always in play. I was never really in too much, I didn't have too much stress, which is a sign of, a really good day off the tee and with the irons.
I know this was your first start 8 years ago. I know that week might not have gone as well as you would have liked, but what do you remember about that week and any positive memories just being your first PGA Tour start?
This place has always been kind of special to me. Getting my first start with Travelers and coming out of college, you don't know what to expect. It was my first ever tour event, and they, having a little faith in me to give me that start. Obviously, I didn't play very well, but I remember leaving that year saying, okay, I'm going to win here someday. I love this place, and it's special to me. So regardless if that happens, I'm always excited to come back to this course, this tournament. They treat us so well. Travelers does an amazing job, and so I'm happy to be here.
Anything else? Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.